Y'all, the way that Cassie was looking on that thing yesterday, first of all, they're talking to her about the drug use. And the day before, remember I told you guys, they were asking her about the drug use and asking her how she would resupply on drugs. Like, who gave her the drug dealer's contacts and stuff like that. And she said, Diddy. Mm-hmm. And when she said that, I watched Diddy in court look at her like, girl, what? Mm-hmm. Yesterday on the stand, they said, okay, so let's talk about your drug use, right? Because is it or is it not true that, you know, both of you guys were using drugs, but like Diddy was still able to run multiple businesses and like ran down a list of everything he was doing. He was more functioning. And she was like, yeah, I mean, you could say that. And then they go into having a conversation about the fact that at one point in time, Puff was calling drug dealers and telling them to stop serving Cassie because she was so bad off. Like, she was worse off on drugs than he was. And Cassie admitted that that was happening. The day before that, though, they painted it as if she was, like, lost in this whole, like, drug abuse thing that was caused and spiraled out by Puff. Yesterday, the conversation was, no, you were making choices on your own, to the point where he was even having to intervene with some of her friends because he didn't like how much drugs she was doing. He was trying to like protect the way that they were doing. Like, they were doing their things, right? But he was trying to make sure that it was, from what they're alleging, that it was a lot more safe. And she didn't push back on it.
I thought they were saying, I thought Diddy's team was saying that Diddy was also on drugs really bad, and they were trying to say that's why he didn't remember putting hands on her.
But he even said he OD'd.
He OD'd, yes. So look, they never, and this is why I'm saying the prosecution left their star witness out there looking crazy, because Diddy's team has never ran from any of that. They have talked about his drug use. Yesterday, it did come up in court that he overdosed at this around the time that Whitney Houston passed away, right?
Was he rushed to the hospital when he overdosed?
Yeah, they said they took him to the hospital. It was like a whole thing. They didn't go into a lot of detail about it, and I have been trying to get more information on that, because for a lot of us in the courtroom, we were like, wait, what? How did this happen? How did he overdose? And the world never knew. But that's how bad their drug use was. But he was always able to like keep himself together and not like fall off, and able to like try and like go through like withdrawals and stuff to get off of it. She was having a bit of a harder time from what it seemed like, to the point where he was encouraging her to go to rehab, and she admitted she did go to like a wellness spa and things of that nature. But I think the reason why I brought that up is because Puff's team did try and use that as a defense, right? And she tried to do that as well. But the way that everything is coming out now is really seeming like, okay, what we saw happen to her in that video, and the other things that I know happened to her because we've seen photos of the bruises and things like that, right, is not okay. But the way that they were able to almost humanize, like, okay, he had a lot of drugs in him too. If we're going to give her a pass for, you know, being drugged up and, you know, not being able to make her own decisions, we should have that conversation about him too, is what they were able to accomplish yesterday.
They were both drugged up a lot.
Yeah, and they used her to do it.
This is what I was telling you, Lauren. You got 8 weeks. You're going to go crazy, because every day when the prosecution is on, the prosecution is going to say things that make sense. When the defense is on, the defense team is going to make things that make sense. You're going to be playing hopscotch like, oh my.
Charlotte, look at this.
You got 8 weeks.
I am like, I'm like, if I was a juror, I would be so stressed out.
You should really do a book and documentary after this, because you're there every day. Next question, I was going to ask, could Cassie be charged? Will they charge Cassie? Because from what you're telling us, it was like
baby girl was the number 2.
She was number 2, and she was setting
up. I told y'all that yesterday. Yesterday I said she was G Money and Diddy Nino Brown.
The freak offs, and she allegedly supplied some of the drugs. That's what it seems like they're saying. So could she be charged as well?
I had asked some questions about that yesterday to a source who told me that they had heard that there were some conversations about immunity, which would only make sense. But they can't 100% confirm it. But I'll have that by Monday.